Good day, my name is Dave Glover. Today, I'd like to take some time and show you how to create dashboards within the RSA NetWitness platform. I'm currently on version 11.4.1.1. However, the procedure has been the same since the early days of version 10. Let's start by logging in. After logging in, you're typically presented with the dashboards that you have currently set up in your system. If we click here in the drop-down, we can see that there's a few dashboards that are out of the box that you can turn on and enable. However, we want to build something custom. We first start with clicking on the red X to create a new dashboard, or the red plus. Here we would give it a title, so we can just do sample dashboard, click create, and once you do that, you're presented with a clean slate on which you can put your dashlets on. Now, in our case, we can go ahead and pick 2 by 2 columns. And I go ahead here and click on this red plus, drop down, and pick Reports Real-Time Chart. Once I'm there, I'm presenting with a bunch of options. I can go ahead and actually click and select the charts that I would like. So for example, just flipping through the pages, let's go ahead and click on the firewall events, for example. We do that. What type of chart do we want? Do we want chart with totals? So these are like bar charts and pie charts, or charts over time. This is the histogram where I can take a look at how things have trended over the course of a 24-hour time period or another custom time period that you pick. We'll just do chart with totals. What kind of chart do I want? I'll just do it as a pie chart. What's my time frame? What's my refresh? And what my dashboard links are, and we'll cover that on another video. So we click add, and we can see here that this is now put in, and I can click and drill on this just like I could in any of the other charts. Let's go ahead and go create a custom rule to put here in this dashboard. So that starts, we click on the reports, and from there, I can just go into my group. I'll click on the plus for NetWitness Platform DB. And here is where I'll go ahead and type in a name and create my report structure. What I'd like to do is I'd like to create a dashboard item or a dashlet for the spread of events over my device types. So let's go ahead and type in a name and then start building the select and the where clause for that report. Now I've gone ahead and named the rule event spread over device types. In this case, I'm going to do a select of device.type. Here's where I can put in an alias or a friendly name. So I could type in something very similar, device type. And for my where clause, I do have packets coming in here. I do have endpoint coming in here, but I want to limit this just down to my log devices. So I can use a meta key called medium and put in 32. If I wanted to look at just packet data, I could do medium equals 0. And then what I want to do here is I want to put my total. I can do it as descending. And then we can go ahead and save this. I like to test the rule just to make sure that it's going to output the data that I'm expecting. Tabular is just fine. And let me do it just on the last hour's worth of data just to see what data I'm presented with. So that test report returned, we have our different device types. This is perfect. So now I click close and I click use. And now I will put it into a chart. Now I can give the chart a name as well. Doesn't really matter what you name it, but in this case I'm just going to put it as event spread. Here's the rule. So this was automatically filled in when you click the use button. Here's my data source. I'm just pulling it from the broker, what my interval is, and what my limits are. You can click the test chart here if you do this. Remember we did a chart totals and change this over to pie chart. This just validates that the data is within the system. Again, we kind of did this already when we did the test on the rule, but let's just see what this returns. And we can see that we got the pie chart with the data back. We can see that our Sophos UTM is much larger. Again, this is the type of spread that I wanted to. Go ahead and click close, and now click save. Once we've clicked save, that is now in the real-time chart list. So now let's go back to our dashboard, click on the plus. Again, we want to go back down to the reports real-time chart. Go ahead and select this. Here's my event spread. Now you'll see that this is scheduled, so this will run at the top of the next minute. Because it's still listing as scheduled, the report or the Dashlet chart may say no data for the time range, but we'll go ahead and see what that says. Again, we want pie chart, last 24 hours, interval of 5 minutes, dashboard link, fine. So we click add, and this is what you'll get, no chart data available for selected time range. In a couple minutes, once this report actually runs through the scheduler, that data will be presented. So let's just give that a minute or two to get the results back. So we let about 30 seconds go by, and now we saw that that data did in fact get populated. If you would like to change the way that the data is presented, you can easily do that. When we first built this chart, we chose pie chart, but there was another option of bar chart. If you'd like to flip that over, it's very, very simple. You can just click this little gear, drop this down to a column, click apply, and now you get a bar chart showing the distribution of events. Thank you. I hope that was useful.